Hi everyone. I just wanted to clear up a little bit of the gray areas today surrounding measurement of inversion and eversion at the ankle. We discovered that there are a couple of different ways to do this, and McGee presents some numbers that are a little off of what our measurements were. So I wanted to give you this PowerPoint presentation just to clear that up. Dorsiflexion and plantarflexion, we know how to measure, and there's no dispute about this, so we're just going to bypass the measurement of these two movements. What I wanted to do was talk about inversion and eversion specifically. So in order to do that, we're going to look at the different joints that are available to us at our ankle. So the first joint that we're going to look at is the talocrural joint. So it is the joint made between the talus and the fibula and the tibia. There's also the subtalar joint, which is made between the calcaneus and the talus, and the mid-tarsal joint, as you can see, that is made by the tarsal bones with the other two. Okay, so true ankle movement is actually occurring with these two joints, so the talocrural joint and the subtalar joint. The way that you have been taught to measure, the way that I would like to see you measure, is in this way, with the patient prone, with the goniometer in this position, the axis over the Achilles tendon, so the upper part of the calcaneus. The stationary arm should be in the midline of the leg of the gastroc, and the movable arm will travel with the midline of the calcaneus. Now, some numbers I dug up for you in McGee. The normal calcaneal angle should be sitting in 2 to 8 degrees of varus. So if you look at the person's foot resting on the table, it should sit anywhere between 2 to 8 degrees of varus. Any deviations from this, you're looking at either a valgus presentation of the hindfoot or a varus presentation of the hindfoot. So this type of measurement measures subtalar and talocrural movement, as I mentioned, and this is true ankle movement. This is some other information for you that I found. So if you are noting that there's more than 5 degrees of valgus presentation, you're looking at a pronated foot type. Anything from 4 degrees of valgus to 4 degrees of varus classifies as a neutral foot, and anything more than 5 degrees of varus classifies as a supinated foot type. So the other way that we looked at measuring was using some anterior landmarks. So we placed the goniometer along the anterior aspect of the lower leg and ankle. We had the axis here sitting in between the malleoli. We had the stationary arm aligned with, I guess, the midline of the shin or the tibia, and we had the movable arm running right through down here along the second metatarsal. So with these movements, the numbers were a little bit different. Eversion is shown to have 15 degrees. Inversion is shown to have 35 degrees. But these movements, so inversion and eversion, pronation, supination, are actually a combination of different movements. So for example, inversion, which is like a supination of the foot, involves plantarflexion, inversion, and adduction. So for our purposes, I would like you to measure inversion and eversion of the ankle in this way, because this is a little bit more of an accurate representation of true ankle joint inversion and eversion.